Hi, this is the Speck family. I'm Ann Verrett Speck and my husband Forrest here. We have our daughter Elizabeth and her husband Skylar and her two boys Hal and Wally. And on this side we have my son Teddy and his wife Kaylin and their daughter Esme standing next to Kaylin and Ginny over here. We're all going to be working on the stewardship campaign this year for FRS, and we wanted to introduce ourselves to you. Forrest and I became involved in the FRS community just a year after we were married and moved to this area almost 50 years ago. The people who welcomed us then and those we've come to know since felt and still feel like extended family. Through participation in all sorts of church events, committees, and projects, including this annual stewardship campaign, we've bonded with so many wonderful people, several of whom are now among our dearest friends. It's amazingly gratifying this year, even joyful, to be embarking on this stewardship campaign along with two of our children and their families.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Shepard, daughter of Forrest and Ann, and mother to Hal and Wally. The most recent time my mother was campaign chair in 2005. The congregation was so proud after turning the dirt cellar of the meeting house into what is now our lower meeting house. But that year was when they had to start mortgage payments on that project. Just to keep things going, they needed and attained a big increase in pledges and in pledge amounts. This year, with change coming from within and without, we have a confluence of events that will again require all of us to give extra generously to ensure that we can continue to provide grounding for future families like ours.
Hi, I'm Forrest Speck, proud progenitor of this sterling clan. I am greatly pleased to have the opportunity to marshal this stewardship effort because it offers me an opportunity to point out what many of us may not be aware of. That is the extraordinary work of so many volunteers on behalf of the church and its parishioners. I especially want to point out the work of the teams that expend so much effort to preserve and enhance our physical campus. The planners, the fundraisers, the monitors looking for things needing repair, those who write specifications, who evaluate bids for the work, who make sure the work is done properly, who go after external grants. I would ask you to keep these folks in mind when you think about your pledge, and perhaps consider bumping it up in recognition of them.
Teddy Speck here, feeling extremely blessed to have grown up in this beloved community and to be raising our own children in it now. As a child here, I could feel the commitment and interdependence of FRS families and enjoyed sneaking forbidden television time when my parents were off serving on planning committees or rehearsing with the choir, but I certainly didn't appreciate the amount of work that went into fundraising projects for the lower meeting house or steeple repairs, or how hard the church staff was working to ensure that every member of our community felt at home within these walls. Sadly, I've grown up, more or less, and can now see what a wonderful responsibility, as well as gift, it is to be a member of this beloved community. There are costs to being historic stewards and costs to maintaining a superlative staff, and occasionally those costs can feel daunting, especially in a year when several one-time investments are necessitated at once. But 300 years of fellowship can provide some great perspective. Ultimately, we can solve all the challenges immediately facing us if we all give just 12% more than we did last year.
As a community, FRS has a challenging year ahead of us, but we all think that we can meet that challenge. I was the campaign chairman 21 years ago, and I can say that it's great to have all these reinforcements this time. I have a feeling that's why they asked us to do it.
Anything you'd like to add, Dad?
What she said.
Give money.
Give money!
Give money. Blooper reel, blooper reel.